We continue on the Domino's post-game report. Adam Cavalier alongside head men's basketball coach Chuck Benson. Chuck fell behind in an 18-point hole in the first half against the number 5 team in the country, but rallied only to fall by 2. How do you sum up this one here today against a top 10 team in the Royals?
So close, but yet so far. The truth of the matter is Queens is outstanding. This team goes on the road and wins at VCU. I don't think anybody can really put that into perspective.
Yeah.
They're ranked number 1 in the Atlantic 10, which is an elite conference. Mm-hmm. I used to coach in that conference. It's elite, and they beat them. They've beaten everybody they've played this year, with the exception of Wingate here, who's arguably one of the hottest teams in the country. So give complete credit to the fact that Queens is outstanding. The thing for me that I'm proud of is the fact that our guys. Very similar, I guess, to our last game. We didn't throw in the towel. We kept fighting and made it interesting, at least. Unfortunately, the thing about these last 2 games that really concerns me is that it appears to me, and I'm sure it appears to a lot of people, we've been exposed on multiple levels in these kind of matchups, and some of that potentially can be resolved, but most of it, I'm afraid, can't right now. If you just look at this week's comp, you're looking at teams that have, for the most part, experienced, seasoned, proven college performers, and we have that too, and yet we don't have as many of those as they have, that you find yourself in these kind of situations.
You say that, but still, Queens is a top-flight offensive team. Defensively, you hold them 18 points below their scoring average. What did you do to lock them down in that regard?
Well, we, as you saw, we played 40 minutes of zone defense, and they still got free and made some shots. We're very efficient, obviously, but I felt like they did not particularly like that they had to go against that, And when you look at when you consider the first outing, what was the final score, 120 to 90 or something when we played the first time?
Beat you by 22, I want to say.
110 to 90,
yeah.
some kind of thing. So I think we did a masterful job of keeping their scoring punch down. We just couldn't put 40 minutes together. Pure and simple. We didn't put 40. We put 20 minutes together, but just not 40 minutes. And you're not going to win these kind of games unless you're bringing it for 40.
Charles Clark, he gets in foul trouble early, only plays 3 minutes in the first half.
Yeah.
Sees a string of consecutive games scoring double digits end today. 52 in a row comes to a close. How much did his absence that first half, how much did that make a difference?
I think we all know that's huge, and Charles is a competitor. Charles is a fighter. Nobody was more upset about sitting for 17 minutes in the first half than Charles. But philosophically, we believe that games are won for the most part the second half, and it played out just like that. We had a chance to win that game, but are we do we have as rough a start if Charles isn't in foul trouble and plays? I don't think we have as rough a start, but that's what we faced, and hopefully Charles can learn from it, and that is what it is. I mean, he doesn't intend to get in the foul trouble, but it happened.
Only 6 assists on the night. That's a season low on 23 made baskets. You shared the ball so well the previous week, and to an extent you did it in the second half against LMU, but really bizarre to see that. What caused that?
There's a couple things. One, and the most importantly, and it's something that both Lincoln Memorial and Queens do very well. They are able to control the ball defensively in one-on-one situations without help. And if you can't demand help offensively, there's nobody to share the ball with effectively. And if you look at it, we had especially the first half, we had a major problem of creating situations like that. And that goes back to just that. If you can't create those situations, there's nobody to share the ball with, and that's in these 2 games. That's what has been the issue with assists.
At home Wednesday night against Mars Hill to start the month of February. Typically, Februarys for Carson-Newman basketball have been pretty heady in your tenure here. What do you have to do to wash the taste this week out of your mouth and start the next month on a good note?
Well, I'm going to say very similar to our game at Lincoln Memorial. We drive home tonight. We immediately shift our attention to our next opponent. We'll spend some time tomorrow sort of assessing and confirming what we think happened tonight. Share that with our team. Make sure that they understand here's what happened. Let's learn from it. Let's try to make adjustments and improvements from it. And then all of our time and attention focuses on this upcoming week. We host Wednesday, and we go back on the road Saturday. And so it's one of the great things about basketball. I mean, you don't have to sit there and stew in it for extraordinary amounts of time. And so we're just gonna move on, keep moving forward.
Chuck, pleasure as always. We'll talk to you Wednesday night against Mars Hill.
Great. Thanks, Cav.
It's Carson-Newman head men's basketball coach Chuck Benson.